What is up, guys? It is Monday, the start of week 3 of the program. So we're done with 2 weeks at this point. Feeling big, feeling jacked. Woke up this morning, anxiety through the roof, kind of depressed, kind of just like spiraling about all the things I needed to get done. Some family stuff, some work stuff, and not feeling too good this morning, but I'm going to the gym anyway. You know, this would be a day where it would be easy for someone to be like, I'm skipping the gym. But that's actually the worst thing you can do, because I know after my workout, I'm gonna feel better. Is it gonna be the best day of my life? Probably not, but it's possible. I have actually had days where I woke up super high anxiety, super high depression, and then I did this crazy workout. You know, I maybe took some pre-workout and I just like focused super hard and went hard. And at some point, the mood switched and I got all the endorphins, and the rest of my day I was just like buzzing and going hard. That's happened a few times in my life, but I can tell you hundreds of times I have felt better. Maybe not the best day of my life, but I went from super high anxiety, depressed, to damn, I feel okay now, or I feel good, or I feel less crappy. Either way, it's always an improvement. So skipping the workout when you feel tired, when you feel like down, is the worst thing you can do. You feel like you need rest. What you actually need is to ramp up. You feel like you need, there's a difference between, now if your body is super sore and you are like legitimately worn down, but it's not just anxiety and depression, right? It's like you feel fine mentally, but your body is like worn out. That warrants a rest day for real. But if it's just your mind and your body is totally fine, skipping is the worst thing you can do. You will feel so much better if you just do it. So that's my life lesson. It's what I've been trying to tell everyone for a long time. Man, I did this video that it's crazy how much we lie to ourselves, and we give ourselves so many excuses in life as to why we are not successful, why we're not in shape, why we're not like all the things we want to be. And I'm not perfect, right? I do that shit too. But some people use not even mental illness, like stupid little ass diagnoses as these dumb excuses as to like why they suck, right? So I posted a video the other day. It was a ChatGPT video, when I'm talking like, can't do it right now. Hey bro, if you want to get your life together, you need to, whatever. I did one where it was like little sayings, and then I translated the saying. It was like bullshit. I was translating bullshit, right? Like what was one of them? It was like, oh, I don't have time for the gym. It was like, yeah, I had time to rewatch The Office for the 7th time, take a quiz to see which Disney princess I am, and spend an hour scrolling Instagram, but I didn't have 45 minutes for the gym. Something like that, right? And it was like 5 of those different type of weird excuses. Like, not everyone's meant to be successful. Yeah, I gave up a long time ago, and I want you to give up so that we can both sit here and be losers together. Just like little translations like that. And, most of the people in the comments were like, yeah, that's true. Like, hey, it's so true. We all do that. But then one person wrote this long ass message, and they were like, oh, I'm diagnosed with ADHD. Dude, that is the dumbest diagnosis. I have that shit, right? I went to the stupid ass doctor when I was like, however, teenager old, and they were like, you have ADHD. And I was like, okay, cool. Because I was terrible in school. Like, I didn't pay attention for shit, because I was like, this is dumb. I want to go to the gym. I don't care about any of this shit, bro. But I did fine. Like, I passed. I did, A's and B's without effort. But I got the ADHD, right? And I've also been diagnosed with anxiety and depression and all that shit. But I'm like, who isn't, dude? Like, who doesn't have ADHD? I feel like more people have it than don't, okay? And then who doesn't have anxiety and depression? Everyone has a little bit. If I meet you and you're just like, I have never felt anxiety in my life, I will kill you and take your skin and live in it because I want that. You know what I mean? But anyway, this person's like, and now I feel like I'm diagnosed with these things, and I was just having a good night playing Switch and enjoying my time, and now I feel bad about it. And I was like, that wasn't even the point of the video. I never said you can't play your Nintendo Switch every once in a while. It's fine to enjoy your life and like have fun, okay? The thing that the video was actually about was like, hey, don't be like super lazy and never do shit and then pretend like you don't know why your life is where it's at. Like, you can't like skip the gym for 6 months and eat Burger King and then be like, I have no idea why I don't have a six-pack. Like, I work out pretty regularly. Like, I go on walks sometimes. I went to the gym last year like twice. Like, I don't know why I don't have a six-pack. It's weird. So that was the point of the video. I was like, yeah, bro, you can play your Switch and be content on a Saturday night. Like, nobody said you can't do that. Really, it's like, hey, don't play your Switch for 18 hours a day every day and then be like, I don't know why I don't have a girlfriend and I don't have a good job and I'm broke all the time. It's like, that's the point. Not that you can't ever enjoy your life. Life is supposed to be enjoyed. You just got to get the right balance of like progress and enjoyment. You really can't have one without the other. Like, nobody's happy with zero progress. That's why you see like billionaires that are still working, you know? And you're like, dude, you have all the money. Like, why don't you just go chill? Because they need that progress. It's like part of what makes you happy. And there's other ways to do that, right? Like, if I was a billionaire, I would find my progress through like, I'm just gonna buy a ranch and live on it with my family and I'll like take care of the animals and mow the lawn or some shit. But, you know, some people like that business, but anyway, every dude, every person probably, yeah, needs progress in order to be happy. But then you got to find a balance, because there's progress and then there's like actually fun and like enjoying your life and spending time with people. There's a good balance between both. If you're too heavy on either or, you won't be happy. Like, if all you focus on is business and progress and you struggle to like have fun and be present, that can make you a little unhappy. I'm actually struggling with that in my life currently. I am very focused on like my little projects and like what I'm trying to do. And sometimes I find it very difficult to just be present and having fun with like my family. Because oftentimes I'm thinking about coaching. I'm thinking about what video idea I need to do next, whatever. And that's a big reason I'm trying to switch over to YouTube, because I feel like on YouTube, I can just talk like this and teach people how to lift, how to stay in shape in an easy way. Because I do it like as easily as possible. You see a lot of guys out here that are like, you know, cook all your chicken breasts and then you have eat all whole foods and make it very hard on yourself. And I'm like, bro, eat cereal and drink protein shakes and eat one meal. Like, you know, all that matters is your macros and work out and you're gonna feel good mentally. That's really the gist of it, dude. Like, you don't need to be perfect to be way better than you are currently. Then most people are just like completely out of shape. I'm like, if you're a dude that's like in pretty good shape and you're just trying to get more jacked, the way I do things will help you with that. If you are morbidly obese and you're trying to just get to normal, how I do will help you with that. Because like, if you're morbidly obese, you're not gonna start, you know, you're not gonna go from eating what you're eating currently, like 10,000 calories a day, to eating all whole foods and only drinking water, bro, okay? So I'm like, yo, have your diet soda, have, you know, your carbs, but just like, you know, have the sweets that you like, but try to find ones that's like lower in fat and like push it to the end of the day rather than having it all throughout the day, and make your other meals protein. You know, very simple things. Or just track your macros and make sure that you hit certain numbers and you'll be in great shape. So yeah, it's like with YouTube, I don't have to think about new video ideas and how am I gonna execute this perfectly. I'm just like, hey camera, guess what? I got some ideas. You wanna hear about it? No? Okay, cool. Yes? Okay, cool. Subscribe. Hit the like button. Do the thing. Ooh, bro, there's always things in the road that like scare me. There's just like this little plastic bag, but I never know. I'm like, is that like a little plastic bag or is that like a hard piece of plastic that's totally gonna screw up my car right now? But anyway, that's my thoughts for this morning. Let's go hit quads. Let's get it done. If you're not feeling good this morning, get your workout in. You'll feel better. Okay, before we go in, I will just tell you exactly what the workout is going to be so that I don't have to explain it throughout, because that's much slower and much harder for you to put together at the end. So we're going to start with calves per usual. We're going to warm up on some calves, then we're going to go to leg press. That's the actual first workout. And we're going to do 12, 12, 10 for the working sets. We're going to do some warm-up sets and then 12, 12, 10. And then next is the hack squat or the reverse squat. Same thing, 12, 12, 10 for working sets. And then next we got leg extension, 2 sets of 10 to failure. Just trying to make it burn, get a crazy pump on that. And then last we got Smith machine squat, 2 sets of 12 with a close stance. And then we got 20 minutes of cardio minimum, but do as much as you can, Tubby Wubby. Get that fat off. You burn some extra calories, man, because I know this weekend you had a cheat meal and you lying about it to yourself. All right, warming up with some calves per usual. I was thinking about training just now, and we went over the workout, right? Like how many reps, all that. Really, the reps that I set, it's just kind of like to help me choose weight in a way. But honestly, I don't really even count my reps. I just go by feeling at this point. When you're first starting out, I think it's important to count reps. It helps you kind of push past maybe where you would go, and gives you a target. But I think if you've been lifting for years, it's almost like a sense at that point. Like, my body kind of knows like how many I'm gonna do approximately, but I'm not really counting it. I'm focusing on hitting that muscle so much that counting's not in my mind. I'm like, yo, contract, stretch, feel the muscle. It's all about that mind-muscle connection. So if that helps you, do it. Like, choose a weight based on how many reps you think you can do, but then when you're actually doing it, you don't necessarily need to count. You just focus on doing it and go until you're like 1 rep from failure. Maybe sometimes you go to failure, or you just go till it burns a lot. If it's like a really light weight, you're probably not gonna fail. You probably just will get to the point where it burns too much to keep going. But if you're doing a heavier weight, like something you might be able to like only get 8 reps with, then you can fail, you know, you can like actually not be able to get it up. But if you're doing like a warm-up set or something where it's like you could probably get like 20 reps with that thing, you don't got to count. You just go slow, try to make that connection and make it burn. Counting, I don't know, it can be good and it can be bad. Sometimes it's good because if you're like going for 12 and you get to 10 and it's a struggle and you're like, nah, I have to get 12, and then you kind of push yourself a little more. And if you weren't counting, maybe you would have stopped at 10. So it can be good in ways, and then in other ways it could be bad, because let's say you're trying to get to 12 and on rep number 1 it feels a little heavy. So like rep 2, 3, 4, you kind of speed it up a little to kind of save some energy so that you can get to that number of reps. But it would have been better if you were to go slow and controlled on all of them and not even get close to 12. Like maybe you only got 8 or something like that. So it can be good and it can be bad. If you're, thinking so much about getting to that number that you end up like not doing the mind-muscle connection, and you kind of like do a few quicker reps because you're like, nah, if I do them slow and controlled, I won't get there. So don't let that get into your mind, basically. Leg press, pretty simple. I do like a wide medium stance on this because I'm going to do a close stance on the Smith machine. With leg press, I would say the number one mistake I see people doing, and a lot of my friends do this, and I'm like, don't do that. So when you're doing it, make sure you got your shoulder blades squeezed together, right? To create like a padding that you're going to be pushing against, and then hold the handles. Hold the handles down and tight, and keep it tight the whole time. You want to lock your spine in place. And a lot of my friends will let go of the handles and they'll keep their hands like on their knees or something,
or to just have their hands like up. And I'm like, you want your spine locked in place. And that's how you're gonna avoid injury the best. And I say the heavier it gets, the more important it is. Like if you're doing a warm-up set and it feels comfortable to have your hands free, probably not that dangerous. But once you start getting up to where it feels difficult for you, then you really wanna be keeping that spine locked in place. Okay, we are done with quads. Felt pretty good, good workout. Feeling a lot better mentally. Not a great pump today. I forgot to take my pump product and I felt like the caffeine kind of had me constricted. I wasn't getting a very good pump, but it's okay. The pump doesn't necessarily matter when it comes to getting good results. It's just a blood flow thing. It's just a blood flow thing, like your boner. But yeah, so start of week 3. Let me see. I think we're gonna push hard for the last 2 weeks with a lot of food. And then at the end, we'll see how we're looking. And then maybe we'll do like a little mini cut, like cut carbs a little bit to kind of get rid of some of that excess water. I'm loving these mesh shorts. They're pretty sick. Been wearing them like every leg day. Honestly, I just like them in general. They're slick, Rick, and they're short. They're just short enough to like show off some quad, but not be like embarrassing. Dude, I hate when I see dudes in public wearing like ridiculously short shorts. Like at the gym, it's eh. But like if you're in a grocery store and you're like this, bro, come on. Nobody wants to see your man thighs, okay? I know girls can wear short shorts and there's a double standard, but it is what it is. We can take our shirts off and they can't. So there we go, we're even. Dudes don't wear short shorts that have your nuts hanging out, and girls can't have your nippies out. I mean, you can, we won't mind, but I think you're more just embarrassed. But guys, nobody wants to see that shit, bro. Nobody wants to see your upper thighs unless you're doing a bodybuilding video or show, okay? Like if you're checking out your quads in the mirror at the gym, cool. If you're getting milk, don't make the single mom with her little kids wonder if her kid's gonna see a nut for the first time because weirdo McGee's wearing the shortest shorts of all time. Anyway, how we looking? Let's get these off. I feel like even if I pull shorts up, my quads don't look that big, but then once I take off the shorts, they look a lot bigger. It's like all my meat is like up here and not down here where I want it to be. I've gotten some teardropness over the years, but I have like very small bone structure. So like my knees and my ankles are tiny. So if I'm just wearing shorts, it looks like I do not train legs. Like, you know, at all. But, you know, it is what it is. Can't change your bone structure. But I can keep pushing to get bigger legs. And we'll get there. It's really the only thing I want to grow is my legs. Ugh, nice and veiny. That's for sure. Got some veiny legs today. Oh yeah. Got this necklace for the Mike Thurston video. It was like 20 bucks on Amazon or something. Looks pretty cool. Feels cheap. I don't know what it's made out of. Feels very cheap. I would assume stainless steel or something. But it almost feels like plasticky. Not plasticky, but I don't know, it just feels cheap. But it looks pretty cool. Nobody cares how much your jewelry costs, just what it looks like. I think this one's pretty slick. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, comment, do all that stuff. Appreciate you guys for always tuning in. Am I blurry right now? Yes, probably. It's all good. Peace out.